not special. Got more heart than David Rockefeller. I will rock whoever. The faint of heart never tried it on bother. Gotta be brave. You live as a slave, and you die as a martyr. Riot and race against the machine. This is total anarchy. Hear, see, and speak no evil. Get the power back to the people. Yeah. It's a war outside. Get the running if you ain't ready to die. The tone has been set. The blood has been drawn. You fight through the pain to weather the storm. It goes on and on. The pain that never occurred to me. So my enemies don't return to me. Cause baby, I'm feeling bulletproof.
Bring it home from any battle, I'm not sure. I never look when the shots fire.
Your plan failed if you plan to kill. Got me feeling like the...
Bona tarda, benvinguts un altre cop al canal d'Gaming.cat. Avui farem la segona jornada de NFL, que ja sabeu que fem amb els Seattle Seahawks. Perdoneu que em sembla que no em sentíeu massa bé. I bé, l'últim vídeo no l'hem pogut penjar a YouTube perquè es veu que hi ha alguna cançó d'aquestes que sona per aquí, no sé si us sentiu ara mateix, doncs que deu tenir drets, i no només ha avisat de que no podria cobrar diners per aquest vídeo, que tampoc en cobraré mai, però que a més l'ha bloquejat, que no podia veure ningú. Sí que és veritat que després et permet, hi ha una opció que et permet solucionar el problema, i fins i tot hi ha una versió beta en què et permet silenciar només la cançó i la resta del so es mantingui. És el que he activat, a veure si realment ara un cop estigui processat el vídeo el puc penjar i veure com ha quedat, i ja us ho explicarem. Però bé, seguim amb Madden. Sabeu que de moment només podem jugar amb comandament per una tendinitis que aviat solucionarem, i anem a per la segona jornada. El que farem és a veure si podem treure les cançons, perquè no torni a passar això del vídeo. Perdoneu que estic berenant. User settings. Volume. A veure, master volume, vale. Music. No volem music. Ens porta pel camí de l'amargura, el music. Vale. I la resta... Bueno, ja ho tenim bé, no? Potser em sembla que ho tenia un pèl massa baix, tot això, i que en el vídeo no se sentia gaire. Vale, llavors ho pujarem una miqueta. El crowd no cal que sigui tant. I molt bé, el primer partit va ser un desastre. Ja no sé si vau poder veure el directe o si l'heu vist més tard. Va ser un desastre, un munt d'errors que no vam fer en pretemporada, els vam fer en el primer partit de temporada. Així que bueno, toca millorar, només podem millorar. Pew Weekly Awards. Premis que han donat. Mira, aquest és nostre. El Bobby Wagner, middle linebacker, considerat, i almenys per mi, el millor linebacker de la lliga. I clar, aquest va ser el Wentz, aquest va ser el quarterback de l'equip contra qui vam jugar, i per tant... I el Kaepernick està jugant amb algú? Hòstia, no sé si algú em pot confirmar si el Kaepernick l'han fitxat o no. Aquest és aquell que s'agenollava quan feien l'himne americà per protestar contra el tractament que rebia la gent de color. a Estats Units i que finalment el van deixar de banda, vull dir, ningú el va voler fitxar, el van fotre fora i 1 o 2 anys més tard ja ha sigut quan ha vingut tot el tema del Live Black Matters i a la Lliga s'ha tornat a veure gent doncs, fent accions com la que va fer ell, però ell va ser el qui ho va començar i el qui va patir les conseqüències de ser pioner, no? Que és el que passa molt sovint. Vale, anem a veure. Això ja ho tenim bé. Tirurim. Això ja ho tenim bé, crec que ja ho vam fer l'altre dia, Team Profile. Vale. Weekly Strategy. Manage Roster. Play Season Game. Vinga, som-hi. You have not finished up your Weekly Strategy. Vale. Weekly Strategy, a veure. Coi, no és el que he fet. Potser l'havia de marcar. Vale, el training. Havíem de fer el training. Molt bé. Fatiga no en tenim molta, o sigui que perfecte. Som-hi. Mira, podem fer un upgrade d'algun jugador. John Rattigan. Avui he vist que estava fent una conferència aquest home. Bones, merci per la raid. No me n'havia donat, Urichil. Merci, Noah Gigi. Yeah! Bona tarda. Estem aquí amb el Madden NFL 22, segona jornada de temporada. La primera va ser un desastre, o sigui que no mireu el vídeo perquè avui segur que ho farem millor. I hem tret una mica la música perquè YouTube ens ha bloquejat el vídeo de l'última jornada. Vale. Ja Robinson. Vinga, estem fent upgrade dels jugadors. I... Espera que tinc el volum massa alt. Perfecte. I començarem el partit. Ara sí, Play Season Game contra els Tennessee Titans, que tenen un quarterback que a mi sempre m'ha agradat, el Tannehill. Crec que han començat la temporada amb el Tannehill com a titular, perquè crec que també havien fitxat algun altre quarterback en el draft, però mira, aquí fan comparatives. Wide receivers van una mica ràpid, aquests d'allò. Va molt ràpid, això. Vinga, som-hi!
Today, from Seattle, Washington,
Juguem a casa,
it's week 2 of the NFL on EA Sports.
No sé si sou aficionats a la NFL o al futbol americà. Jo des de petit em portaven a veure els Barcelona Dragons, bueno, petit, potser no tan petit, doncs que m'hi vaig aficionar.
And the Seattle Seahawks taking on Ryan Tannehill and the Tennessee Titans.
We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at Lumen Field here in the Segon.
Sense la música és una mica rotllo, no? Quasi que prefereixo que em bloquegin i...
As loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks
El nostre
set to do battle with the
receiver
Tennessee Titans.
per excel·lència, 12 recepcions, porta ja 159 yardes. I sí, el que farem és tirar endavant i posar la musiqueta. Bueno, ara hi ha música. Molt bé, comencem rebent la pilota. Vinga. Ix, l'espin bé, però després... Bueno, no està malament. Hem de millorar, pobre, aquest quarterback és dels millors de la lliga, el Russell Wilson, i per culpa meva, pobre, té unes estadístiques aquí. Molt bé, a veure, començarem conservadors, fent una mica de joc de carrera. Bona. Hòstia, no! Se'ns ha lesionat el nostre receptor principal. Hòstia, es poden dir paraulotes, no? Hòstia, tu. Tinc una de lesionats ja, que porto una jornada només i... Bueno, a veure, ja ens diran si és greu o no. Però seguim. Bé. 7 yardes, no està malament. Bueno, seguirem amb el joc de carrera. No sé si coneixeu el tema del futbol americà. Hi ha 4 intents. Hi ha 4 intents per avançar 10 yardes. I si no, doncs la pilota passa al contrari. Llavors normalment a la quart intent el que es fa és allunyar la pilota perquè l'altre comenci més lluny. Si arribes a les 10 yardes, doncs tornes a tenir 4 intents per avançar-ne 10 més. I així fins al final. Vale. A veure... Hòstia, tio. Merda, receptor. Veieu, estem en quart down, quart intent, 2 yardes, estem molt al nostre camp, llavors no es pot arriscar, allunyem. Comencem malament, Comencem malament. Touchback. Touchback passa quan o bé el que l'agafa posa el genoll a terra o bé la pilota passa pel final del camp, amb la qual es comença a llarg de 25, si no m'equivoco. Vale, començarem amb un blitz, intentant pressionar una mica. Bé. Bueno, el Derrick Henry, aquest em sembla que és molt bo.
22 carries, 93 yards.
As a good start to the season, they got the win and they were able to establish a good running game.
Vinga, va.
Nothing that just blew people away, but a nice solid base to get things started, and they expect that to get tuned up and get
Bé. Hòstia, un altre va lesionat, ho veieu? El Barton. No pot ser, Aquest ja s'ha lesionat Aquesta és la segona vegada, crec. Vinga, va. Anem a pressionar aquí. Molt bé, sí senyor. Quart intent per part seva, amb la qual l'allunyaran segur. Bueno, hem recuperat la pilota. No està tot perdut.
You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
We'll call that a
No he pogut anar gaire lluny,
officially, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10.
No sé si se sent bé o la meva veu està massa alta o el joc massa baix o... Mira, aquí dislocated thumb will return soon. Va, substituïm.
Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll start out on the ground with Carson.
Bueno, hem avançat poc. 3 yardes.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Titans, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses.
Flag. Pass interference. Això és que han tocat el jugador que havia de rebre la pilota abans de que tingués oportunitat d'agafar-la. Aleshores els penalitzen amb unes quantes yardes i ens donen primer intent un altre cop. És a dir que veieu, ja estem molt més a prop. Ha sigut una jugada rodona. Ui, merda aquest. Hosti, s'infla.
And lost it, and it'll be 2nd down. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience is early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset.
Bé, hem trobat el forat,
At least they're there at the moment of truth to make
Molt bé.
By the way, where did the Grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
No sé on tinc el mòbil.
I'll have to tell you that some other time.
All right, back to football. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. They run it with Carson.
Ah, hòstia, l'han enganxat.
Just outside of the 10 at the 11. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st and that'll make it 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Wilson.
Sí!
Lockett in the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle.
Touchdown.
Tyler Lockett, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks have taken a first quarter lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week.
5.000 yardes porta aquest en la seva carrera. Està poc valorat per lo que realment fa. Molt bé, extra point. No ens arrisquem. I 7 punts a la saca.
Extra point up and through by Myers, and that makes the score 7-0. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
Molt bé. Veieu, ha posat el genoll a terra. Això vol dir que no intenta fer el retorn, amb la qual començaran a llarg de 25. Bé, abans ens ha funcionat la pressió. Ah! Sort que ha arribat ajuda, perquè no el tombava.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Tannehill with a play fake to Henry. He'll throw instead. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown.
Llàstima,
Past the 45 before being tackled.
A.J. Brown is starting to get a well-deserved reputation as one of the top-flight receivers in the NFL. Went over 1,000 yards in his first 2 years. Makes another strong catch there.
Tannehill on first down.
Joder.
To seam inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. 17 more yards. They had 17 on the previous snap as
Ara
well.
meva, a veure qui és el quarterback, si és el Tannehill.
Think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different
Sí,
people.
sí que ho
But you
és.
absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's
És
what
bo,
they
és bo
just
aquest
did on
home.
that play.
A first down carry for Henry.
Bé, per aquí no passa.
He'll lose yardage back at the 38.
Vale, va, ens hem d'aturar aquí.
In the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
No!
Man is
Hòstia,
caught at the
tu.
6-yard line. Touchdown, Titans.
Mare meva, no? Ha sigut imparable aquest atac, no?
Second touchdown on the season. And the Titans are an extra point away from tying this thing up. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they scored in opening weekend
Vale,
are
va,
gonna
ens
hold
toca a
up to be
nosaltres.
the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
16 yardes, però ens han quedat curts. Vinga, va. Anem a fotre-li una mica de canya a això, Vinga, va.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go
Bona aquesta. Corre! First down, sí.
25 yards that time.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense and guys want to be involved.
Bona aquesta, va, corre!
Close to the line of scrimmage, they can split out like receivers, but hands,
Llàstima.
speed, and some toughness to go across the middle. You put it all together, you get a heck of a tight end kid.
Bé, a veure si aconseguim això.
Territory now. Here's first and 10, right at the 40. This is Carson.
Sí! Hòstia, un altre lesionat. Porto 3 lesionats en aquest partit. No pot ser. Jolines, de veritat, No, això és molt desencoratjador. No et tiris, tio, no et tiris.
A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a first and goal.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. So that run gets them about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now second and
Right
goal.
tackle.
The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
On second and goal, Wilson.
Sí!
Wow.
M'he equivocat de botó.
With his first career NFL touchdown, and the Seahawks have taken the lead.
Molt bé, mantenint els peus a dintre. Recordem que s'han de tocar amb els dos peus a dintre de la end zone, de la zona d'anotació. Ui! Ara volen revisar la jugada. Ara meva, bueno, mengem una mica de xocolata. Perquè això és inbounds, fijo.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. The extra point now coming from Myers.
El que dèiem, no ens arrisquem perquè l'últim partit vam fer el burro
It's up and good, and it's 14.
i anem a assegurar el partit,
So the drive there took 6 plays. And the Seahawks
Serem
capping
força
it off for a
conservadors.
touchdown.
Fins que no agafem ritme.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
Molt bé, touchback.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they're open to redo
A
the
veure,
offense of the last drive when they
aviam
get to
si
the end
aconseguim
zone.
per aquí el
Just think of
cantó.
what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Josh Reynolds signed with the Titans after 4 years in LA with the Rams, and he was overshadowed there by some of their big-name receivers. But came through with a
Se'n surt
career
molt bé, el
52
tio
catches
aquest.
last year. Expects to continue in that vein with the Titans.
They'll run on first
Joder,
down.
quina línia tenen, de
And he'll take this one up close to about the 45.
ofensiva.
Jordan Brooks on the tackle.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback.
Oh, merda,
also have
caigut.
interest in the running
Corre.
game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Ha passat el tio. Mira que el teníem, Ha sigut error meu.
What a sight to behold, because power and speed involved in every touch for him. Coming off another spectacular season with the Titans, he became the first since LaDainian Tomlinson in 2006 and 2007 to win
Bé.
rushing titles, and he did it with style too. Just the 8th man
Una
to
yarda
touch 2,000
només.
yards, and the first since Adrian Peterson in 2012. He has his sights set on another 2,000-yard season.
And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand.
Jolines.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down
Sei
inside the
quart.
40. That catch good for 5. It's
Vinga, va.
now Tannehill.
Joder.
Complete to his tight end
No!
first.
Ha passat el
And he
tio.
gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. 4 yards on the pickup. Good enough to extend the drive.
And that one was a lot of fun right there, because that was the
Aconseguim
game of the
aturar-los,
game. Third and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback?
Està sortint més bé que l'altra vegada,
There's a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
que l'altre atac que han fet,
Down to about the 26-yard
però
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
no ha passat, no?
Only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just
Sí.
the offensive side, is it?
Incomplete.
Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker
Ho
was,
intentaran
and
o
making sure
faran
they
field
didn't
goal?
get it. That's a good job there.
Què
creating
creieu?
Contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field
A
goal
veure què
situation.
decideixen.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. They'll run. It's hit. And
Boom.
down inside the 15 he goes.
Però han entrat, els tios.
Pickup of 10 yards and an
Parits.
opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side.
Aparidos.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. Now that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well.
And it's
Jolines.
in the end zone, touchdown, Tennessee.
Vaig canviant de jugador per portar una mica tots els tipus de jugador. I bueno, clar, no tens incidència en totes les jugades. Però bueno. Empat a 14 un altre cop. Hem de seguir la línia. No fallar nosaltres i esperar que fallin. Vinga, va.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. From the 6. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The ball now going back over the Seattle Seahawks offense. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offense's sails because they had it going pretty good last time too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just
Aquesta l'he vista. Aquesta l'he vista. Sí.
Touchdown Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks get the quick strike.
Bona aquesta.
Still first quarter, 2 receiving
Com dèiem, un gran receptor, poc valorat.
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or
I el que dèiem, assegurem els punts. Extra point i seguim. Que fallin ells. Que fallin ells.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
Ara, genoll. Sí.
And no return here for Evans as they will bring this out to the 25. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively.
Bueno, va, aviam si aconseguim parar-los aquesta vegada, va.
Furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Bueno, no en sortim malament. Només han fet una yarda. Va.
They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses, and typically one guy makes a big play and that can help change things.
They'll be looking
Sí! Molt bona aquesta, Blair. Tercer intent. Vinga, aquest és important. Tanto el passe. Oh, merda. Hòstia, ja els teníem.
As we wind down near 20 seconds left in the quarter.
Menja una mica la moral, que sempre al tercer down acabin. Sí! Vale, no han avançat yardes.
Second quarter now, Titans in possession of the football. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Play action, it's Tannehill.
Vale, l'ha hagut de tirar fora. Bona pressió.
The Titans on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd
Vale,
and 10.
tercer. És l'important. No! Pareu-lo.
And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Sempre el tercer, Cago en l'ou.
18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, Tannehill.
Home!
Jones. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
On 1st down, Henry. Alden Smith.
Bé.
Tackle.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now here's a throw that's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd.
Una yarda, cago en
When you
l'ou.
see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11. Now Tannehill. And it's a Titans touchdown.
Hosti, tu, no aconseguim parar-los, eh? Aquest és el... Ah, aquest és el... Ah, com es diu, el Brown... Hòstia, no em surt el nom. Com li diuen?
Today it's track shoes. That's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute.
Bueno, seguir igual. No fallar nosaltres. Però quan més partit passi, pitjor, eh? Genoll.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. And last time the formula was
quin partit més igualat.
Maybe they just want to do that again, right?
Home! No hem passat. Una yarda només. Carson, DC,
On 2nd and 9, Wilson, he lets it fly for Lock. Oh, a leap in.
Sí! 52 yardes. Mireu, mireu la jugada aquesta. Mare meva. Això, Antonio Brown és el que... Clar, tenen un receptor boníssim, ells. Bueno, nosaltres també, ja ho heu vist. Vinga, va.
Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now it's Carson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They go back to Carson here on
Jolines, flac. I si tenim sort. Offense? Hòstia, tot van contra nostra o què?
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You think being able to fire out block can be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty?
Jolines, mireu, on hem d'arribar ara? Doncs ara us fotrem aquí un touchdown d'aquests de... Vinga, salta! Oh!
This is incomplete. Oh, that looked like a sure 6 points, but he could not get that to stick, and that is a goal.
Estem fallant nosaltres, ja.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up
Swain,
with something
DC,
here on 3rd down.
Esbridge i Lockett.
Here's Wilson.
Uah!
He's going to let this go for the end zone. And
No!
intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard.
Ja comencem, nois. Així va començar el primer partit de la temporada. Vam començar a fallar i al final va ser un desastre. O sigui que hem de mantenir la calma. I ara el que hem de fer és aturar-los, és a dir, el que no hem aconseguit fer en cap moment. Jolines, el Henry aquest dels pebrots. No hi ha manera de tirar-lo a terra. Oh, quasi en tinc. Home, ja a sobre ha passat per sobre, ho heu vist o no?
Let's not quibble about the game there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take what you can get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Tannehill on 3rd down.
Sí, incomplete. Sí. Vale, els hem aturat. Uah!
Here's Brett Kern
Ho aconseguit.
as he'll
Uf.
kick it away for the second time.
Vale, ara, calma, eh? Ah! Uah! Ja! Llàstima.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards.
11 yardes.
Now will come the offense as they take
Bueno.
over. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And there are parts
Okay,
of their last drive they'd like to
26.
emulate. And of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice
No, merda.
to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them,
Quan l'he tirat he vist el tio.
right? Because once it threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. From the shotgun, Wilson. And on the left
Out of
sideline,
bounds.
caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball
Hosti, tu, no ens en sortim, eh?
third down. On third down, Wilson. And incomplete on the deep ball. The secondary has been roasted in this first
Allunyem,
half.
no fem el burro.
Revenge there, nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return, and it'll be Titan football.
Bueno, l'hem parat bastant bé.
Titans set and ready to go on offense. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air
Ui!
or on the ground.
Aquest sí que anàvem a interceptar-lo, eh?
Patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Tannehill. He's got
Home, que no
the right
passi.
side complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
Ja comencem. Mare
Fifth
meva.
catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
Mira, va, Wagner.
Here's Tannehill. That's taken in by Ferkser. And he's brought down. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
And remember, the Titans lost Jonnu Smith, their #1 tight end the last few years, when he signed with New England in free agency. So that might open up a few more looks for Ferkser, and he makes a smooth catch there.
They run with Henry on first down, but nothing much materializing as he'll get forward only for about a yard.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Tannehill now to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Only 3 yards.
Tercer i 5, va.
Third down.
That was an okay hook
Hosti,
up
tu
there
va,
with his
sisplau.
tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up third down.
Here's Tannehill.
No,
It's a
ha anat
short one
fora.
here, complete to his tight end. And he
4
gets
i
it
1.
down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Just a 5-yard
Va, que el
pickup
fallin, que el fallin.
down.
Ha fallat.
This one is no good. He missed it. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number
Uf.
2.
Ens hem escapat de la segona, eh?
Everything looked good. Good snap.
Bueno, estem aconseguint aturar-los. Això vol dir que si anotem,
Winds up no good.
podem guanyar aquest partit. És a dir, que ara, vinga, centrats a l'atac. Hosti, tu. Ens ha faltat un. Bridge, Carson, Lockett, DC, Carson.
From the 41, Wilson.
Ma!
Is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. He's a second-round pick, a solid second-round pick. But when you're close to that first round, do you come in with a little chip on your shoulder?
You definitely do, because now your money's not the same. But even more than that, it's the prestige. Everyone wants to be a first-round
Bé,
pick.
primer down.
His talent demanded that, and I do
Vale,
not
m'ha
see
assegurat la
teams
jugada.
that first-round grades on him.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization, general manager, personnel department, college scouts.
Bueno, va ensat una mica, però...
They evaluated it very well.
Hombre, lesionat per part seva.
Now a timeout being called as there's an injured
Mare
player
meva.
on the field. We'll check
Mare
on the
meva.
stats when we get back.
Nosaltres en tenim 4 o 5 ja.
Five yards remain on second down. Now Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. Flush to his right. And that's going to be incomplete.
Ai, a sobre s'ha lesionat.
The contact popped the ball free and it's fourth down.
La jugada més dolenta, mare meva.
Complete pass. We'll get a timeout here for an injured player.
S'haurem
Wilson in the offense not coming off the field.
d'arriscar.
They're going 4-on-4. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson.
Sí!
Complete to Disley, the tight end. And he will have a first down as they get into the
Ha!
at the
No estem morts.
37. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one.
No!
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on
Injury.
this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
2nd and 10. Hands it off out of the gun.
Merda.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Seahawks on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact.
tu.
It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th
Què fem,
down.
field goal
He did
o...?
a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case,
No!
timed it perfectly
Sí.
and knocked it free.
So good kick there. They put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the 3.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
27, bueno. Guanyat unes yardes.
Time again to see what Ryan Tannehill and the Titans can do.
Ens hem d'aturar, sigui com sigui.
Pretty happy with his
Ah,
performance
que...
at this point. He's played pretty well. Bottom line, they're down on the scoreboard, so I'm guessing he's not that happy.
No, the fantasy owners who have him for this week, oh, they're happy with what's going on. But for him leading the team, trying to win a ball game, I agree with you. Not
A més, mira, estan a 50 ja, mare meva.
Inspires teammates to do the same.
That's a true leader. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
Bueno,
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Segon i
This size is a
14.
tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14.
No!
Man open down the middle of the field. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Vinga, va. Tercer i 8. 2-minute warning. Ah, que els hem d'aturar aquí.
A reminder coming up at halftime. We'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season.
No!
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
Ja els teníem.
The Titans efficient passing on
On
this
va
drive.
aquest?
There's another first down. Back to throw, Tannehill. A short one pulled in by Ferguson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Hosti, tu, ens fotran un touchdown com una catedral.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Joder, no m'ha donat temps ni a intentar placar-lo. Vale, vale, mantinc aquí, Va. No, hombre. Ah, no és touchdown, no?
Yeah, with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts. As the clock shows 50 seconds to play.
Segon gol, 50 segons. Hòstia, els hem d'aturar, no?
They'll employ the jumbo set now on 2nd and 1. Trying to punch it in with Henry. And the avenue collapsed for him as he's going to be held up short of the goal.
L'hem parat, l'hem parat.
They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's 3rd and goal. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And nothing out of that one. No gain on the play. And what to do now on 4th and goal?
Ho intentaran o què?
Now the Titans will use their 3rd
Us hem aturat 3 vegades,
as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
Va, fan field goal per empatar el partit. Oh, si fallen des d'aquí. Bueno, empat, tu, és el partit de l'empat, A veure, hem millorat respecte al primer partit de temporada, però ens costa molt guanyar, No, genoll. Hem de ser conservadors. I vinga, va. Queda... No sé si ens la passaven a nosaltres. Espera.
As they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. $14 seconds, all that's left of this first half as they come up on 1st down. Wilson. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Well, I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over him, and they got there to break that one up.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Bueno, mitja part s'ha intentat,
All tied up heading to intermission. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by.
Crec que ara els hi hem de passar. Mira, els passes no ho aconseguim, Aquesta vegada han sigut els passes. A l'anterior partit va ser al revés, completament. A veure els altres partits.
We begin out in the desert. It's the
Cardinals, a veure.
as Minnesota in town to take on
Empat.
Arizona. And those two are tied up as they play the second quarter.
Qui més?
From there, we head over to MetLife Stadium to check in on the Jets. And things didn't work out so well as they fall to the visiting New England Patriots. Cam Newton, 4 touchdown
Ui, han
passes
acabat
in the
aquests.
victory. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they were victorious in that
Han
one over
perdut
the
els
visiting
49ers,
San
0-2,
Francisco 49ers.
que estan a la
Colin
nostra
Kaepernick,
divisió.
Couple of touchdown passes as his guys win their second straight to start the year. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the
Touchback.
scoreboard. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Bueno, ara sí, Comença la segona meitat del partit. I aquí ja és l'hora de veritat, Han començat a prendre-li les mires una mica al seu atac. No s'ha mogut. El que són molt perillosos en el tercer down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Bé, incomplete. Tercer i 8 i aquí és on són perillosos. Així que mirarem de ser conservadors. Bé! Els hem aturat. No crec que se la juguin.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know,
Vale, els hem aturat.
Run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away.
Jolines, tu, no m'ha deixat avançar res,
And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 24. Now Wilson.
Bueno, ens hem fet bastantes yardes.
7 yards the pickup there.
Qüestió és no perdre... He vist un forat i no he pogut passar.
Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down in the defense.
Molt bo, molt bo. Oh, no m'ha aturat el tio. Molt bé, tercera recepció del partit. Ha sigut rara aquesta jugada,
One thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Screech.
No m'aprendré el nom aquest, Bona. Bueno, però hem fet 7 yardetes, no, 6.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They run again with Carson.
Ben passat, primer down.
To the 39.
Hòstia, un altre lesionat. Ho veieu?
While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10.
Lockett.
Here's Wilson to throw.
Ole!
It's complete.
Ole!
Brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Bé, rugging the passer. Sí, senyor.
Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty as a result of that.
Vinga, va, que ens estem acostant, eh?
Came out and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense, first and 10.
Hosti, tu. Que no has vist el forat allà a l'esquerra,
This has
tio?
been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Wilson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little
Field
bit.
goal.
It really got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Myers' kick is good. And that will break our tie and give them a 3.
A veure... Hem fet el... Perdoneu, eh? La family. Vinga, ara aturar-los, eh? Nosaltres hem puntuat, abans els hem parat. Els hem de tornar a parar per anar bé.
Tennessee offense set to go again, and a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Bobby Wagner, the All-Pro, in on the tackle. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. To throw is Tannehill. A short throw, and it's going to be pulled in by Ferkser.
No sé per què no s'ha seguit aquest.
Across the 30-yard line. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Llàstima, eh? Hem estat a punt, eh?
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career. And Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer
Ha passat, el
in a
tio.
short career.
És boníssim el tio aquest.
Through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Oh, no!
Touchdown, Titans. passes for Ryan Tannehill. And the Titans are going to retake the lead.
I know we often laugh and sometimes we even exalt the
Si mai ha anat per davant en el marcador.
give us some really funny lines, but the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will make this a four-point game. There's the Titan kick team.
Ara sí que no podem fallar, Tingut un partit bastant consistent.
And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And 3 touchdown passes so far, but it hasn't been enough.
And the guys that I know that run
És que hem
teams in
fotut
the
3
NFL,
touchdowns,
they think it's
Tot
because
i així
they
encara...
haven't done enough. Despite what we're seeing here, 3 touchdown passes, looks good. In his mind, he's thinking, I just have to find a way to do more.
Yeah, he might be thinking I need 4 and 5, maybe 6.
Tot i així estem perdent,
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
To throw is Wilson.
Oh, merda! Fumble! Fumble! Fumble!
Might be Titan football. It is.
Desastre. Veus, ja està, ja comença la declive.
Returning in this 3rd quarter as this defense is able to knock the ball free and recover.
And let's look at it this way. Their offense is right back out there who just got them the lead a few minutes ago. This has the potential
Hem d'aturar-los com sigui.
in this game.
And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Henry again on 2nd down.
Bé, ben aturat.
Line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming
Vinga,
up.
va.
This red zone is where the Seahawk crowd really makes it tough for an offense to communicate. It's 3rd down. Nowhere to go.
Sí, fumble! Fumble! Hosti, tu!
Bad place to
4 i 14, hauran de fer field goal.
They'll have another shot, or no, they won't have another shot. It's going to be 4th down. Maybe they can at least salvage 3.
And they were thinking 6 points because at this position of the field, it's go time, right? You take your shots at the end zone. They weren't able to do that one, so you look over at the sideline, there's a head coach saying, oh, heck, kick it, field goal time.
The kick by Pinheiro is good.
Bueno, estem a un touchdown, és a dir, si féssim touchdown empatem. No està tot perdut. Almenys, com a mínim en aquest partit, sembla que no estem perdent els papers, com en el primer, però, com veieu, no...
You were talking about the golden field position. They didn't take advantage of it. That has to feel like a letdown.
You always stand ready to pounce. Always. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind, it's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up and they tend to play well.
First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down. give right side. It's Carson.
Bé, primer down, primer down. Crec que sí. No!
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Home, haurem passat, no? Sí, primer down.
An invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Now it's Wilson. That one complete to Hart.
Bé, Hart, molt bé.
As the tackle's made at the Titans 30. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. On first down, Carson.
Ih, si passo, merda.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the
3 yardes com abans.
defensive line. They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
They go back to Carson here on 2nd.
Vale,
Here right around
poques
the
yardes.
3-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. There's Wilson. He'll get that complete to Parkinson. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And Pete Carroll looks like he likes his chances with the offense on the field. They're going for it on 4th. They run for it with Carson. And he
Oh,
is not
no.
going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. He needed 2. He barely got back to the line of scrimmage. And as a result, it'll be Titan football.
No, va, si us hem aturat abans, els podem aturar ara.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now it's Tannehill. Jones has it. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him? Double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection.
Segon i
It
6.
doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning defensive player of the week, you must have made
Oh, bona aquesta.
Like you mixed in a few of those.
Molt ben cobert.
Just like we saw there. The short gains make the fundamentals.
Defense. Defense.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill.
Sí, 4th down.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
Bé, he pogut passar.
They get 9 back on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Chris Carson trotting back out there. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage.
Hem perdut yardes.
Blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case, I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
So much about defending the pass is being able to be right there at the moment the ball gets to the receiver, and he was right in his hip pocket, helping force that incompletion.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Ah, tio, agafa-la.
So they couldn't hook up.
Agafa-la.
Time is now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle.
Ben aturat.
41-yard punt there with
Uf.
no return. Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they
Bé.
slim lead. He was looking for Josh
Comencen a haver-hi
Johnson
imprecisions, no?
second down.
Per la seva banda.
Now Tannehill. They set up the screen for Henry. First down and much more for Henry. And he'll be out
Sí,
just a
senyor.
yard or two shy of the 30. They'll get 30
Mare meva, que
yards
cabrons.
there. They're good at running the screen. Sometimes it's probably taken for granted, though. You need a good deal of deception in there, don't you?
You certainly do, and you know what else you need? The people who aren't involved in the deception to make sure they hold their blocks and someone doesn't flash too quickly in the face of the quarterback.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Llavors hem d'aturar aquí.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's
Sí.
and running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Tannehill. A dump off now to
Merda,
Hill.
m'he equivocat.
And this will not
Hòstia.
get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. They'll
4
get
i
only
5.
a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked it down to force a 4th down?
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Love the effort there. I mean, to get a field goal block in this situation because they knew what was going on. They give up those 3 points there. It's now a 2-possession game.
Yeah, that really changes the complexion here in the second half, doesn't it?
It really does, and now you give your team a more than a fighting chance and a little momentum. Terrific job by them setting the tone and picking up their defense.
The drive starts with a completion. Left
Bé.
side.
Vinga, va, que això ho guanyarem.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Short throw to Disley, and he'll be taken down.
Que lent que és el tio aquest,
Past the 50. Consecutive
Bueno,
catches
primer down.
for him. That good for 11. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson.
Bé.
Carson. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Sí.
In by Eskridge, complete. And he'll
Complete.
go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Va, ha de passar això,
Here's Carson. And he's able
Primer
to get
down.
the first before he's taken down at
Sí.
the 36.
Different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson.
Bé.
Target Lockett. And they'll have it in
Bé,
the
Lockett.
zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me.
Oh, llàstima.
He pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, second down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation. Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Molt bé, DC. Sí, senyor. First and goal. 4 intents per entrar. Vinga. Ànims. Va, troba el forat. Uah. Sí.
Chris Carson, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks are an extra point away from tying this game here in the fourth. We are set up for
Bé, ha entrat. Molt bé. Assegurem el punt. Ai. Uf, quin tuto. Si guanyem, l'hem suat aquest partit, Va, que els hem d'aturar.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Nice way to
Si
start
comencen amb els passes,
with a first down.
ho tenim fotut,
You and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars.
Hem d'arribar al quarterback.
Catch right there.
They'll run on first down.
Sí, senyor, Wagner.
And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. A gain of 3, second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook...
Sí.
He's gonna go down. Tannehill sacked. Bobby Wagner, multiple times in All-Pro, in there to drop him for a loss.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss.
Bueno, ara aquí concentració, Vinga, va. Tanto el passe. Sí, que no passi. Bé. Ho intentaran o què? Espero que no sigui un fake, d'aquells. No, no és un fake. Ni que la tira Campistrau. Uf. Ara és la nostra oportunitat, Aquí no podem fallar.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at about the 32. He gives it off to Carson. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37.
5 yardes.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5.
Deixi Carson.
Now it's Wilson. That's into the hands of Parkinson.
Bé. Primer down.
Second catch for him today.
Molt bona aquesta, va.
First down. And he'll give it here to his running back.
Vinga, molt bé.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that
Hòstia,
type
hi ha
of
el tio
yardage
que hi
in
ha
the
allà.
running game.
No sé si passarem,
Guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Bé, primer down.
Come at the 38-yard line. Consecutive runs of 6 yards gives him a 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back.
Bé, primer down un altre cop.
They're inside the 25.
Vinga, som-hi.
For 14 and a Seahawk first.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Ix,
Bringing him
no
down
m'ha avançat.
defensively, Jayon Brown.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Sí!
He's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon, and the Seahawks are going to take the lead.
Did you see them hold up for
Assegurem punts.
They were ready.
They were definitely ready. They may or may not have done that, but they certainly have played that way. The fourth quarter has belonged to them.
Vinga.
The lead belongs to them as well.
Ja ens toca aturar-los un cop més.
They will take a 7-point lead. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. This fielded right at the goal line.
Bé.
They cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Bueno, a veure, va.
Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. Now a first down throw, Tannehill. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And he'll have it past
Mare meva, que
almost to the
cabrons.
40 before being taken down. 36 yards on the play. And that last throw, CD, going to move him even further up that all-time passing leaderboard as he just moved beyond Broadway Joe Namath at 27,663 yards.
And that's impressive because Joe Namath, my goodness, he could throw a football. I mean, it was just gorgeous the way he threw it. Rallied his Jets to a Super Bowl win, one of the greatest upsets in NFL history. Broadway
Quins
Joe,
nervis, eh?
the man.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Va, els hem d'aturar aquí.
Tannehill.
Bé.
Be incomplete. The intended receiver, Josh Reynolds. And it's 3rd down. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would
Va,
expect
sisplau. Atureu-lo.
Tannehill throwing again.
Bé.
They're going to be incomplete. It's rare that a receiver of his caliber would drop one pass, but that's now 2 times he's had his mitts on one and lost
Han
it.
d'allunyar.
I think that they're going to lose confidence in
2
him, though.
minuts
He does have a
50.
track record. Such a good player, maybe having a bad game, but I think they'll still
Fora.
get him in a critical spot. Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't he?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Mike's by 4. Mike's by 4. Mike's by 4.
On 1st down, Wilson.
Home, tio.
Here's incomplete. Will Dissly, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Va, aquest tio.
Incomplete
Necessitem a
pass
tu.
on 1st down, that leads to a 2nd and 10.
Home.
Is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
És que estem a dintre de la nostra endzone, eh?
On 3rd down, Wilson. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Està fatal, això. Bones, Morlock.
Down like any defense, you never
Encara
wanna look to
perdré
get things started.
a l'últim moment.
That would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty. And before this drive could get wings, it's fourth down.
Bé, a terra.
31-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return.
2 minuts 22, que un nou tenen tots els timeouts.
And the Titans down by 7, 2:22 on the clock. Deuces wild. Plenty of time here. They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning as they've got it 1st and 10.
Vinga, va.
56.
On first down, it's Tannehill. Reynolds with a catch out on the right side. And he's brought down. Give him 10 yards there. And
2-minute warning.
to the football, he's going to have a first down. Fourth
Quins
quarter,
nervis.
down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game.
Let's go, boys. Bring it on.
So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Now a toss left side into the hands of his
Hòstia.
tight end. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line.
Timeout.
Fresh out of the
Timeout,
2-minute
necessito.
warning, here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining.
Here you go.
4 yards remain for 2nd down.
They're gonna need some therapy after this. Hey, watch that, watch that. Check Mike.
Now Tannehill.
We ain't giving up nothing.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hill. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Here's Tannehill. 7 yards there and a first down. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a first down. On target over the middle to Hill.
Oh, i a sobre continua, tio. Veieu?
15 more there. They're on a roll. It's another first down.
Bé.
Can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback. And
Oh.
he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
Ara intentaran 2 punts.
It seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you got to communicate.
Ah, no, mira, fan-
and oftentimes when you start
fan
counting
extra
receivers,
point.
That's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happens.
Empat.
And he
De
got
moment
in the end
empat.
zone. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good.
40
We are tied
segons.
Here in the fourth quarter. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. Taken at the goal line. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed
No sé
in
per
the
què no
end
ha
zone
posat el
as he can
genoll
only
a terra.
return to the 14-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this
Què?
drive underway. They've
Vinga.
got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Wilson. He lets it fly for long.
Bah!
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
Mike 55.
On 3rd down, it's Carson, and he is going to be
Tu, m'ha parat el mateix
Now
tio.
making matters more dire, this is going to be 4th down. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is going to blow up in their faces. Not only do they not get the first, they're going to lose big yardage as well. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So a tie ball game here as the
Vale.
kicks away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he won't get this
Si marquem, guanyem.
as he's down at the
I si no marquem, llavors ells tenen una oportunitat per marcar.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on
Vinga, va.
offense. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. First throw in overtime now for Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett.
Sí, senyor, sí, senyor, sí, senyor.
Tough ground. And he finally goes out of bounds across the opposite 40.
And how about that? So many times the big play is what does it in overtime. They got one there, move the ball past midfield.
A on estem? A quina yarda?
Looking to score the game.
Si no ho sé veure ara.
Because a field goal won't finish the game.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Wilson.
Sí, senyor, sí, senyor, sí, senyor.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 10 more there and another first down. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That can give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it, because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward. And it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses, because normally you shake it off, but in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And he's
Bé.
close to the first down markers. He's
Avançat,
brought to the
avançat.
Titans' 19-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with 3rd down coming up.
Si passem aquest ja serà. Ja ho tenim. Si passem, si passem. Sí.
Picks up the
Primer
first
down.
yardage as he takes it down
Uah.
to 16. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. But I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settle it, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. Penny, a 1st down carry. Man, this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Bé.
Down here at the 12-yard line. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football.
Sí. No és touchdown això o què?
The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a 1st down, and inside the 5-yard line.
You don't
penny.
Oh, l'han aturat.
Timbers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
It's a nice second effort we just saw there, so I'm trying to get to the end zone, but a lot of times near the goal line, that second effort can lead to disaster. Make sure you hold on to the football because there's going to be guys swarming.
Hey.
Into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. We needed extra time to decide this one. The rushing score and OT finishes it off, but all throughout, really
Wow.
just a great game to witness.
I agree, and the whole time we were watching and working on this game, I had it in the back of my head. We could get to
Hem
overtime.
guanyat.
Just the way this game went, the ebb and flow of it all.
Sí.
And then to get there and finish it what I would call an old school way, a running play, because in today's NFL,
Hem suat
we
aquest
throw the
partit,
ball
eh?
to ring the bell, don't we?
Not there, they ran it in. And again, just a great game. that
Ens
we
han
will
guanyat en
witness through.
passes
So for the Seahawks,
i
they
en
make amends for their
turnovers,
week 1 loss
takeaways.
by winning their home opener. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Titans, they will fall to 1-1, and they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home.
Molt bé, hem aconseguit 2 dels staff. Objectius de l'staff. Ui, que ens han donat aquí. Hem completat. Hem pujat a nivell 3. Uau. Molt bé. I el Chris Carson ha guanyat experiència, amb la qual... Molt bé, vinga, cap amunt, això. Molt bé, doncs res. Tenim un lesionat. El Mayowa, el Swain i l'Everett. Aquest un partit, 4 partits, 3 partits. Déu-n'hi-do els lesionats que tenim. Bé, ho deixarem aquí. Vinga, Morlo, que ens veiem. Merci per passar-te. Doncs res, ho deixarem aquí. Hem pogut compensar el desastre de la primera jornada. Amb aquesta segona jornada veurem què fan els Seattle Seahawks aquest diumenge, que jugaran aquest mateix partit que hem jugat nosaltres avui. Esperem que es juguin millor que nosaltres. Hem millorat bastant, hem aguantat molt bé el partit i hem sabut patir i guanyar al final. Esperem que el tercer partit no haguem de patir tant i comencem a que ens comencin a sortir les coses més bé i a fixar-nos més en els detalls i en les jugades, que estem una mica desentrenats. Així que moltes gràcies per passar-vos i ens veiem en el proper directe. Fins